First and foremost, stay hydrated.
It's 15 hours.
Thank you, Siri. So it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since my last vlog. Um, Let me just say hello, hi, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. I hope you've been well. If this is your first time watching, welcome back, or welcome for the first time. If this is not your first time watching, hi, I'm sorry for leaving you hanging. I just needed to sort my life out. A lot of things had to be fixed, a lot of things had to be figured out, and here we are, we're back once again. Um, so first and foremost, to everyone who was actually asking me, because I had mad people asking me, like, bro, your vlog, what are you gonna do? Where's, what's it at? YouTube, all this type of stuff, and I just kind of left them hanging. Um, Primarily because I didn't know, I didn't know the direction. I didn't know what direction I wanted to take my YouTube channel in. And so much has happened between 2018. I think it was 2018, my last video, the end of 2018 or the beginning of 2019. I don't remember. Um, so much has happened since the last video, and to just name a few, you know, um, dropped out of uni, went back to uni, went to Tokyo, lived in Tokyo for a couple months, came back from Tokyo, landed the job that I was gunning for. Now I'm a creative director, became a photographer, um, became a filmmaker, dropped a short film with some amazing creatives. I'm working at this fucking amazing studio, working with some amazing creatives. You know, f- Became a photographer, filmmaker, videographer, became a music video director, dropped, directed 2 music videos, photographed Fashion Week, shot Fashion Week, started Creative South, my ultimate brain baby. Like, it's been one hell of a ride, to say the least. It's been one hell of a ride, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I needed that time away. I had to step away from YouTube because I realized, which is also something I want to get into, but I realized that I was doing it wrong. So I had to take a break. And important, if you need to take a break for as long as you need. But I had to take a break from YouTube and figure out the direction I wanted to take it. In the process, I survived 2019 and 20, the year that shall not be named. Um, and it was beautiful. It was last year, 2020 was the worst, best year ever, the best, worst year ever, whatever you want to call it. It was absolutely sensational, but it was terrible at the same time. Um, we learned how to live with loss. We learned how to win. We learned how to lose. We learned how to maneuver. When everything that can go wrong goes wrong, we learned how to get the fuck back up, and we learned how to keep it moving. We learned. That was the most important thing from 2020, and the growth that comes with not failing, but having everything go against you. I think that is one of the most important lessons that any of us could have adopted. Personally, I feel like 2020. If there's anything that we all should have come away from in 2020, or come away with, knowledge, lessons, whatever, it's the fact that you know tough times are fucking lasting, but you gotta just last longer. You know what I mean? You gotta go harder. You gotta go harder than tough times. Um, and don't give up, you know? Don't give up. The last thing you should ever do is give up, because to give up means is the ultimate failure, really. I decided to pick YouTube up again because I figured out the direction I wanted to take the channel. I figured out the direction I wanted to take my content, not only as a YouTube, which I will be joining the YouTube photography fraternity. Fraternity might be the wrong word because it's gender based. But my point is, I will be joining the photography YouTube community. That is the right word. So I'll be joining the YouTube photography community. I jumped it up again. Um, and I wanted to kind of set the tone, So I wanted to drop a video in January, or February, whenever this decides to come out. But essentially, I wanted to kind of let you guys know that there will be a consistent drop in videos now. But I figured out the direction I want to take it. I kind of want to step away from the sit down story time. Let me tell you guys about that type videos and actually get more active in photography. Hence, this is the direction I wanted to take it in. Which also brings me in to a topic I actually wanted to talk about. I was going to bring it up on Twitter. I was gonna thread it on Twitter a couple nights ago, but I figured, tweets are not real. Twitter's not a real place. Although the discussions are important that are had on Twitter, I kind of feel like this is a discussion I wanted to keep off of that platform. I didn't want to keep it on IGTV because the quality on IGTV is So, essentially, it's this idea that I've been having with myself, or been battling. I've been battling myself and my higher self, and we've been going back and forth about this idea of being someone who creates art versus being an artist. And this is something that I've been thinking about for months since my birthday, November in 2020. This idea that it's something that I'm beginning to learn as I mature into a better creative, as I put out more content, become more consistent. Essentially, the idea that, are we artists or are we people who create art? And I've been thinking about this because I look at what I've done with Creative South. I create images, I bring images to life, or I capture time and space. And I edit them, I do all kinds of things in videos and just put it together and put it out there. People consume it, it's beautiful. They're like, it's beautiful, yeah, sensational, what, so on and so forth. But a conversation that I'm having, it was hard to have this conversation with myself because it made me realize that I don't think I'm doing enough. As an artist, I want to develop myself as an artist who can bring the conceptual and abstract ideas into the art that I capture. And this extends beyond photography. This is why I'm my end goal, my end creative goal, my career. I want to build it as a filmmaker, as a storyteller. I don't want to be someone who just captures images. Capturing images, photography is it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. However, I want my career to be so much more than just stills. I want to have the audio, I want to be able to create the audio visual journey, the bridge to the next, if that even makes sense. And so, that's just something I was dealing with all 2020, all 2019, when I shut down the YouTube channel. I was just like, damn, there's a lot of stuff that I need to focus on because as much as I enjoy creating, I'm not just doing this for me. There's a quote that I read, you're leveling up, like you're becoming more powerful when your presence in life or your environment, your actual presence affects the life force of other people. And I'm not saying that I want to be super powerful. I'm not saying I want power or anything, but I'm just saying I think as an individual, as a creative, I don't think that my power, my ability to draw power and sort of create power for myself. And I'm not talking about control, but I'm talking about like the confidence, the arts, the strength of my arts, the how much I value my own art, as opposed to, I don't care what other people think of my photography or my videography. I'm thinking about myself. When I look back on my art, I want to be able to say, wow, this still moves me because I can realize, like, I know that, past Shili was thinking this, that, and that, and he was feeling this at the moment. He managed to capture that and put it into his art, as opposed to just, capturing moments and it's like, that photo I took was nice. I want my power. My power is in creating emotion, audio visual experiences. Now with photography, it's a little bit more different because it's stills. But I'll figure that part out. Anyways, on this journey to creating, I'm looking around. I'm based in Namibia. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm based in Windhoek, Namibia. And on this journey, obviously, I want to collaborate with other artists, And if I can be frank, and I don't mean to offend anyone at all, but if I can be frank, I'm beginning to understand that some people are in this for fun, some people are in it to build careers. I, for one, I'm in it to build careers. I want to build a career. I want to build other people's careers. I want to help my friends build their careers. I want us to become a culture of artists. I want us to look back in 10 years and be like, whoa, we started this shit. And with that, the realization comes that I don't want to be I don't want to be, which brings me back to the original conversation. Sorry, I be losing track. But it brings me back to what I was trying to say is I don't want to be someone who just creates arts. I want to be an artist. I want to embody what I create. And this is one of the reasons why I learned that sometimes you have to kind of step back and just stop and look around and evaluate everything and realize, you know what, I'm going in the wrong direction and I need to backtrack. And that was one of the motivations for stopping YouTube. Is for now I've cleared my Instagram. I cut my hair. With the new decade, I was very spiritually attached to my hair. I decided that I need to regrow it on my whole head, so I cut it bald. Completely bald. Anyways, my point is, I feel like it's time for a rebirth of Creative South, of Shili Munyama. I have to begin anew. This journey, obviously I'm not saying the journey has come to an end or anything. I'm just saying that the journey has to be rerouted because I was going the wrong way. And this time, now that I've learned my lessons, I've gone through all the motions that I need to go through, from love and loss to failure to success. I almost said succession. No, to success. I've learned how to maneuver the world and the creative sphere, and I'm beginning to understand that I need to become who I'm destined to become. And this is not Shili the creative. Although I am a creative, I'm talking as Shili the artist. And this is what I look to achieve. I think it's important that creatives think like-minded. Not like-minded as in like herd mentality or anything, but like this idea of artists versus personas who create art. On this journey we find that we're going into a new decade. There is going to be an all-seeing light. We're going to see a lot of creativity come up into the world. We're going to see a lot of influences. And I think it's important, especially now, especially for Namibian creatives, that we begin to mature as artists, as creatives, right? And I personally, I've said this multiple times to people around me. I've said it multiple times on Twitter. But I seek to create with people who are like-minded in terms of building a career in creativity and art. I think it's important that we now understand that we're at a point where it's time to start developing ourselves as artists, Not people who create, but artists, And yes, you're always going to have your artist self, your creative self, your when you step away from all that, you are yourself at home or whatever. But I mean as our creative identities, artistic identities. I'd like to see more Namibian creatives come out as, the artists that they are, as opposed to the people who behind social media accounts, who make music, who take photos, who do videos or whatever, Become the filmmaker, become the musician, become the photographer, the artist, the visual artist, That's just something I'd like to see. I look forward to the content, the content creation. I look forward to making more arts. I look forward to everything, for not only for me, but for everyone else. This YouTube channel, my fellow creatives. I can't wait to collaborate with you guys. But yes, beautiful stuff. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what your predictions are for 2020, whether they're predictions, whether they're, hopes, goals, dreams, whatever. What you plan to achieve? You know, where do you plan on traveling? Ew, hectic. Coronavirus. If you're not traveling, you know, what are your hopes and goals, dreams, whatever? You know, what do you plan on achieving in 2020? How do you plan on maneuvering 2020? What are your best? What are your aspirations? You know, let me know in the comment section below. Let's have a conversation, and I look forward to talking to you guys more. So I'll see you on the flip side.